My name is Linda, and I am 70 years old. Today, I want to tell you how my life changed. But before I share the new part of my life, I must tell you about the years I spent alone. Those years shaped me. They broke me, but they also taught me what pain feels like. 15 years ago, I was married to a man named John. I believed we had a strong marriage. I trusted him completely and gave him all my love. But one day, everything fell apart. I found out that he was seeing another woman. I still remember that night. He came home and wouldn't look me in the eyes. I asked him if something was wrong, but he said nothing. His silence told me everything I needed to know. That night, I couldn't eat or sleep. I just lay in bed, staring at the ceiling, wondering what went wrong. The next morning, I made my choice. I told him, I can't stay with you. He didn't stop me. He didn't even apologize. I packed my things and left. I left behind my marriage, my trust, and the life I thought I had. The first few months were the hardest. I kept asking myself if I wasn't enough or if I had done something wrong. I blamed myself, then I blamed him, and then I blamed life. I had enough money to live, but money couldn't fill the emptiness inside my heart. I would wake up in the morning and wonder why I should even get out of bed. Nights were worse. I sat alone with a cup of tea, remembering the sound of another voice in the house. Now there was only silence. People thought I was strong because I smiled when I saw them. But when I came home, I closed the door and cried. Years passed like that. My health got weaker, and my heart felt tired. I saw doctors, but no medicine could heal my sadness. I began to believe that I would live the rest of my life alone. Sometimes I thought it was my punishment for trusting too much. I prayed often. I didn't ask for love. I only asked God for peace. I didn't know then that He was already planning to change my life. One afternoon, my friend invited me to a small community event. I didn't want to go, but she insisted. That day, I met a man named Mark. He was 45. He smiled at me and said, "Hi, I don't think we've met." His voice was calm, and his eyes looked kind but sad. Later, I learned that his wife had died suddenly from a heart attack. We talked for a while, and he listened with care. Before leaving, he said, "It's hard to find someone who understands. Would you like to meet again?" Something in me said yes, so I agreed. We met for coffee a few days later, and talking to him felt easy, like I had known him for years. We shared our stories, our pain, and our quiet moments. Weeks passed, and we kept meeting. We didn't make promises or talk about love. We just enjoyed being understood. Slowly, I started looking forward to his calls. When my phone rang and I saw his name, my heart felt lighter. One day, I asked him, "Why do you keep meeting me?" He smiled and said, "Because you understand." 6 months later, Mark asked me something that changed my life again. We were sitting together at our favorite cafe when he said softly, "Linda, we've both been alone too long. I think maybe we could be more than friends. Would you think about being with me?" My heart started racing. I didn't know what to say. He held my hand and said, "You don't have to answer now. Just know that my heart is open for you." That night, I couldn't sleep. I thought about his words again and again. I was 70 years old. Could I really start a new life now? But then I remembered how lonely I had been and how peaceful I felt around him. The next morning, I called him and said, "Yes, I'll marry you." His eyes filled with tears as he said, "You've made me the happiest man today." For the first time in years, I felt hope again. The hardest part came next, telling my children. My daughter, Emily, was shocked when I told her. "Mom, you're 70. "And how old is he?" she asked. "He's 45, I replied. "What will people say?" she asked. "I don't care what they say," I told her. "I just want peace." She didn't say much after that. Then I called my son, David. When I told him, he said, "Mom, that's crazy. He's 30 years younger than you. Are you sure he's not using you?" I said calmly, "He doesn't need my money, David. He has his own business. He just cares about me." David didn't believe me at first and said, "I can't support this." I understood his fear, but I couldn't let it stop me. When I told Mark about their reactions, he said, "Let them meet me. Let them see who I really am." And he did. He met Emily and David, answered every question honestly, and told them, "I'm not here for money. I'm here because your mom gave me peace." Slowly, they began to see his heart. Emily said, "If you're really happy, I'll try to be happy for you." David took longer, but one day he called and said, "I still don't like the age gap, but I can see he respects you." That was enough for me. Our wedding was small and simple, just family and a few close friends. No decorations, no music, no speeches. When it was my turn to say my vows, I said, "I choose you, your kindness, and your care." Mark looked into my eyes and said, "I choose your strength and your wisdom." When it was over, I felt calm. I had finally chosen love over fear. The days that followed were peaceful. Mark would bring me tea in the morning and make sure I took my medicine. We laughed together and talked for hours. Emily told me one day, "Mom, you smile more now." I said, "That's because I feel lighter." Even David came around. One day he said, "I can see you're happy. That's what matters." His words meant everything to me. A year passed, and life with Mark brought me laughter and healing. My health improved, and my heart felt full again. We didn't need big adventures. We were happy with small moments, talking, laughing, holding hands, sitting together in silence. Emily said, "Mom, you're different now. You have light in your eyes again." I told her, "That's what happens when someone truly cares for you." Even David began to visit more often. He and Mark started talking like friends. Seeing that made me so thankful. After a long time, I finally felt safe, safe in my heart, safe in my home, and safe to be myself. One evening, Mark asked, "Do you ever regret saying yes?" I smiled and said, "Not for 1 second." He said, "Me neither." Now, when I look back at my life, I see two parts, the years before Mark and the years after him. Before him, my life was full of silence and pain. After him, it became full of warmth and peace. My children accept him now. Emily tells her friends my story. She says, "My mom taught me that it's never too late to be happy." Hearing that makes me proud. Sometimes I think about the past, the betrayal, the loneliness, the tears, but they don't hurt anymore. They're just part of my story. I once told Mark, "I wish I had met you earlier." He smiled and said, "We met at the right time. We were both ready." He was right. Life gave us a second chance when we needed it most. So, if you're listening to my story and you're afraid to open your heart again, I want you to know this: it's never too late for love. Don't let fear or age stop you. If someone kind and true comes into your life, let them in. Because sometimes, the thing you fear the most is the thing that will finally heal you. I found love again at 70, and it changed my life completely. I found peace, I found laughter, and I found someone who sees me for who I truly am. Happiness doesn't check your age before it walks into your life. If love knocks on your door, open it.